Okay, so you've mastered 3-ball joggling, and you're ready to move on to something else. You want to keep running and you want to keep juggling, so start 5-ball joggling. So the first thing you're going to need is a place to practice. You want a place where you're not going to run over things and trip and fall and get hurt, because you're looking up here the whole time pretty much. So track is a perfect place. Once you have a place to practice, the equipment that you use is very important. 5 balls, since you're juggling, it takes a lot out of your arms, so you want something that's light. It's not going to kill you if you throw it up every step of the way. But at the same time, you don't want it so light that it's just going to bounce out of your hand when you try to catch it. You want something heavy enough to fall into your hand and help you catch. And you also don't want the wind to take your balls away, because with just 10 miles an hour of wind, with 3 balls you won't feel it. With 5 balls, depending on what the direction it's coming from, it could just knock your pattern over and make it really difficult. So I use 70-gram balls. I found that that's perfect for me. You might want to add or subtract a little bit to that amount. Another thing is with sunglasses, the top of your vision with 5-ball joggling is the most important part of your field of view, and usually sunglasses tend to cover that just because that's the way they're designed. So if you can find sunglasses that give you full vision up to the very top of your peripheral vision, those will be fine. Otherwise, sunglasses are going to make it difficult. Running with an iPod, 5 balls, unless if you're running in a very controlled environment, a track that has nobody on it, or far from the road or where bicycles are, don't run with headphones, because you're going to be really focused on the juggling, and it's just a dangerous combination. And obviously before you start 5-ball joggling, you need to make sure you could juggle 5 balls pretty solid. The cascade pattern is the only thing that's really important. It'll help if you know a few tricks like 360s or some side swaps or something, just to help get your pattern more solid, but the cascade is the only thing that matters. When you started 3-ball joggling, you probably noticed that your 3-ball improved very rapidly. Within maybe a few weeks to a month, you start getting really good at 3 balls. With 5-ball joggling, that curve happens a lot more slowly. It might take 6 months before you start to feel your 5-ball pattern get really solid, if it's not already before you start. But as long as you can juggle 5 balls indefinitely, you're ready to start 5-ball joggling. Okay, so you have the correct balls, you're good enough at juggling 5 balls, and you're a runner, you're ready to get started with 5-ball joggling. The first thing that you should do is go for some 400-meter 5-ball joggles. So when you go out for that first 400 meters of 5-ball joggling, you're going to drop all over the place. You're probably going to drop 2 or 3 balls at a time. It's going to be a disaster. You have to keep trying. Probably after about a week, if you practice every day, if you juggle for a week with 5 balls, you'll probably be able to go 200 meters if you're lucky without dropping. Keep working at it. Over a few months, you might be able to go a mile without dropping. So there's slow improvement, but just expect to drop. You're going to drop all the time. Just 5 balls joggling is a lot harder than 3-ball joggling. The height of your throws is very sensitive to the speed that you're running at. So if you're running really fast, you're going to make really low throws, so you could make those quick steps. If you're running really slow, you're going to make high throws. High throws make it easier to drop, and it takes more energy out. So pacing with 5 balls is kind of different than pacing with 3 balls or no balls at all. The time of day and the weather conditions make a huge impact on your 5-ball joggling. Dawn and dusk, the sun's low, it's usually a little bit cooler if you're in a hot place. That's the best time to go for 5-ball joggling. Once you go for that 400, first day you do a few 400s, you're going to be really tired after that 400 because it's killing your arms. Your legs aren't going to be sore at all. But over time, as you drop less and less, and you go for maybe an 800 or 1600 at a time, because it's changing your form and your legs are taking a beating, there's going to be a point where your legs are what limit you and not your arms. Just keep working with 5 balls. Over time you'll strengthen the correct muscles and you'll be able to run without getting as tired. Now, 5-ball joggling is 100 times harder than 3-ball joggling on the arms. So you could be running a marathon with 3 balls, but when you start doing 5 balls, it'll probably take you a while just to complete a quarter mile on the track. So it takes a little bit of time when you start 5 balls. You have to keep working at it to get your arms in shape. It's going to change your form a little bit, which makes it harder on your legs. You'll notice that your triceps are what's going to get sore the quickest. Also your shoulders, kind of back of your shoulders is going to hurt a little bit when you're running. So those muscles are important to strengthen up. Just like if you go from not running to running 40 miles a week, you're going to get injured. When you do 5 balls, you got to be careful of your shoulders because it's possible that you could harm those by getting into it too quickly. So build up to distance, strengthen your shoulders. You might want to do push-ups or something that'll help you. So when you actually get down to it and run 5 balls, one thing that you'll want to do to save energy is move your arms as little as possible. So you'll notice that maybe after 300 meters, every correction you have to do, every correction that makes you reach out for a ball, that takes out a little bit of energy. And that little bit is very noticeable when you're already tired. So try to keep that pattern steady and in control, and you want as little movement as possible, reaching out for stray balls. Just try to be consistent. Be consistent. Be able to see the balls kind of just follow these 2 paths, and it leaves those streaks on your eyes, and that's when you know that you're doing really well. So you want every throw and catch to be right here, where all it takes is bending the elbow to pop it back up in the air, and you want it right here, comfortably within range of reach. Another thing is, just like 3-ball joggling, you want to do 1 throw per step. If you're running on a track, you're going to be relying on your peripheral vision to keep you in the lane, because you're focusing on the balls, or at least you're keeping the peaks of the balls in your field of vision. So you just have to try to do your best to stay in the lane based on peripheral vision. You might be able to glance down for a split second to make sure you're on course. Don't rely on that because it makes it more likely that you'll drop. If you're running out on the road or something, like going for a marathon 5-ball joggle like Barry Goldmeyer, you'll probably just want to collect, make sure there's nothing in front of you, and continue. You don't want to risk hurting yourself just to keep the 5-ball joggling going. Good luck.